Gilmore Girls has many fantastic and iconic characters, but even though there would be no Stars Hollow without Luke Danes, that doesn't mean his character doesn't have plenty of flaws. Played by Scott Patterson, Luke is the local diner owner in Stars Hollow and the central love interest for Lorelai, Lauren Graham, throughout the series. In many ways, he's a standout character because of how much he sacrifices to be there for Lorelai and how he's an enduring father figure in her daughter Rory's, Alexis Bledel, life. However, Luke isn't the only part of Gilmore Girls that hasn't aged well. The harsh realities of watching Gilmore Girls years later make it clear that every character on the show was far from perfect. While the show centers around the experiences of Lorelai and Rory growing up and falling in love in their small town, Stars Hollow, the supporting characters make the show feel real and lived in. Luke is an enduring character throughout the show, and it's difficult to imagine what the series would be like if he were different, even if that means accepting his flaws. One of Luke's defining character traits in the early seasons, but especially in Season 1, is that he has strong convictions about health and the environment and has political alignments that come through in his opinions and dialogue. While this characterization might have been created to juxtapose the devil-may-care attitude of Lorelai, it makes him a three-dimensional figure and is a grounding force within the fantastical world of the show. His dedication to the things he believes in is part of what drives his other traits, like his frustration that others don't take life as seriously. However, as time went on, parts of Luke's character disappeared, and his character was pigeonholed into being the town grump. Of course, characters must evolve and develop throughout a show and shouldn't remain stagnant, but some of his character changes felt like regression instead of growth. Much of this has to do with the toll his dramatic relationship with Lorelai takes on him, but there are certain character choices in later seasons that Luke makes that he wouldn't consider in the beginning. Luke and Lorelai's relationship timeline in Gilmore Girls is long and complicated because even when they weren't in a romantic relationship, they were very much a part of each other's lives. The fact that they were friends for so many years but both harboring deeper feelings meant that they frequently got into arguments that contained subtext about their true feelings. This dynamic also meant that Luke believed he could be jealous of Lorelai and her other relationships even when they weren't together. While Lorelai is guilty of the same thing about Luke's relationships, Luke takes his jealousy too far. As soon as they entered a relationship, this insecurity only got worse. Luke had a chip on his shoulder about the men Lorelai was involved with in the past and struggled with feelings of inadequacy when it came to their relationship and living up to the expectations of Lorelai's family. While no partner should deal with those feelings alone, Luke went about expressing them in the wrong ways. Though Lorelai did end up cheating on Luke with Christopher, in some ways, it was Luke's envy and refusal to compromise that led her to this decision.